Hello everyone, my name's Adam from London Music Tours and welcome to My Back Pages, a 6-part series reviewing music books. What I'm going to do in this short series is suggest in each episode one music-themed book or biography for your consideration. I've called it a music book club, so I'm going to make the suggestions, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you wanted to leave a comment in the chat below or drop me a line via the socials on these addresses here, or drop me an email. I'd love to hear your opinions on the titles we're going to discuss. I'd also like to hear your recommendation for any music-themed book, and perhaps I'll include them in the second series of My Back Pages. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the books and keep in touch. Hello, my name's Adam and welcome back to My Back Pages. Hello everyone, this is My Back Pages, the music book club. On this episode, we're going to be looking at Troubadour Tales, Bob Dylan in London. When old Bob Dylan comes to London town, stuff happens. Which always made me very surprised that there was not a dedicated book on Dylan in London. Hang on. Books about Bob Dylan? There are surely 1,000,001 laborious tomes covering his meanings, his poetry, his sources, his legend and his myth. And there certainly are. But this book is specifically dedicated to his visits to London. And one of its most important facets is it sets the record straight on a few details in Dylan's chronology. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a myth as much as the next man. But there have been a few niggling contradictions in the story of Bob Dylan in London that Jackie Lees and K.G. Miles have put right once and for all. I think most famously, where did Bob Dylan first play in London? Well, to give you an idea of how complicated the story is, there are 3 candidates, or there have been 3 candidates for Dylan's first gig. 2 of them have plaques commemorating the location. The easy way to remember which is the real place that Bob Dylan first played is it's the one without the plaque. There's nothing straightforward in the story of Bob Dylan. You'll find that location, of course, within the pages of Bob Dylan in London, Troubadour Tales. It's the King and Queen pub in Fitzrovia. I said earlier, I like a myth as much as the next man, which brings me to the illustrations. The illustrations in this book are wonderful. The work of Julia Wojtaszek. First and foremost, there is, of course, a lovely map of Dylan's locations that you can follow. They've listed 17 separate locations in the map, and it's also beautifully illustrated. But I'm very fond of the cartoons of Dylan. These lovely illustrations add a kind of a distance to our subject at hand. They keep him distant, they keep him kind of mythical, and as I said, I quite like the mythical aspect. The myth, of course, is made in the 1960s, and cliche of all cliches, that's my favourite Bob Dylan period. Yeah, I know, everybody says that, but I'm deeply enthralled to that acoustic going into electric period, 64, 65, 66. And all those events, the Albert Hall, the the Savoy Hotel, the Mayfair Hotel. All the places are covered here. Having said that, I'm very fond of the Camden section in this book. Dylan on walkabout in Camden Town, shooting the video for Blood in My Eyes back in 1993. And at the same time, shooting the sleeve in Camden Town for World Gone Wrong. Now, the 80s and 90s is not often the most garlanded, the most lauded of Dylan periods. I'm quite fond of it, personally, but it's not the most foregrounded, the most centre-staged of Dylan's periods. The Camden section is written with a joyful glee at Dylan walking amongst us, shooting a video, crossing the road, having a cup of coffee in Camden Town. It's a really lovely section of the book, and I think quite important because it focuses our eye on a period in Dylan's career that isn't the most glamorous. It's not the 60s period. So yeah, much needed. Indeed, that sort of loving aspect of the thing is shot through the entire book. These guys, Jackie Lees and KG Miles, Dylanologists for sure. They know their stuff. But it's very clear it comes out of the pages that they're just like you and me. They're fans. And as such, it's a delightful book. Bob Dylan in London, Troubadour Tales. KG Miles has also written Troubadour Tales in New York City, a book I have yet to road test. I'm greatly looking forward to walking the streets of New York City with that book. But even if you can't make New York City, even if you can't make London, both of these books are terrific fireside reads. As I said at the beginning, a long overdue book for Bob Dylan and music fans. Maybe in a subsequent series, we'll look at my other two favourite Bob Dylan books, my personal favourites, Robert Shelton's No Direction Home, and of course Michael Gray's Song and Dance Man, The Art of Bob Dylan. But that's for another day. Thanks for joining me on my back pages. I hope you enjoyed this edition's book. Keep in touch as usual. All the socials are here. Subscribe to the channel. Come and see me on a virtual tour or one of my walking tours here in London. And I'll see you again next time right here on my back pages.